You're on, Toll.
You got to remember, bud, you're getting. What I call my hometown. I guess it ain't my hometown. I guess it's my town where I live in now.
Yep.
Need your cars lettered up, trailers, signs, whatever. He's got it all. Mount Tabor Cabinetry out in central Pennsylvania. If you need a remodel job out that way, Google it up. Morning Sun Marketplace, also out in central Pennsylvania. Rick and Sue Fritz run that thing. Look it up once. If there's something you need, they probably got it there somewhere. It's quite something. My Race Pass. If you're into racing, you need to have My Race Pass. They cover a lot of races. They got audio now. It's anything you want to know about the race cars or the drivers. It's there. S2F, start to finish. They cover a lot of races. I didn't look the schedule up yet this week, but I don't know, because it's the 4th. They might not have much, but last week I think they had 5 races on Friday, 6 races on Saturday or something. Power I, several local tracks. Huset Speedway. We're on a little hiatus from there right now. They're still trying to recover from their 4 nights. I don't think Greg and so got too much sleep while they were there. A little too much track work going on at night afterwards and whatnot. So Turn 2 Lodge down in Knoxville. Literally what it says. There's a lodge, place you can stay, rent, right outside of Turn 2. Kaiser aluminum wheels for all your racing wheels.
I just saw on Facebook that he has a huge clearance sale going on.
Oh, well.
So I would definitely go to Kaiser Wheels and see what he all has on clearance.
Anytime you can save a few bucks when you're racing, it's worth it.
Absolutely.
Fulkins Brothers Truckings for all they do for us and for the racing community in general, for the sponsorships they got and everything. It's quite something that them guys do. Heartland Hardware and Appliance. They got a store in Brandon, South Dakota, George, Iowa, and Hayward, Iowa. And we like to mention Hero Haven just for everything they do for the vets and first responders. And we always want to mention Shane and Snow.
Shane and Snow.
Shane and Snow with bench racing, they call it.
Bench
they
racing,
cover everything.
Lumber Lounge, how many JST?
I don't know.
JTS.
You're
Motorsports.
You're throwing more stuff out there than what I got. And then I want to just give a little shout out to Derek from Houston, Texas, bud. He's a fan of ours. I met him up at the High Banks, and he listens to our show. And I said, well, don't be too embarrassed if I throw your name out there.
We're up to 26 fans.
26 of them now. We
We
are improving.
Here we go. Hey, we're at Hoagie's Garage, and we have Jack Anderson on. How you doing, Jack?
Oh, not so bad. We're just getting the car put back together for this week here at Knoxville, and just kind of getting after it here tonight.
That's good.
Oh,
That's
and then
good.
we're interrupting you. Appreciate you taking time off a little to help us out here.
Yeah, it's no problem, guys. I mean, most of the time whenever someone hits me up to do a podcast, normally I have a pretty good time doing them, so I figured, what the hell, and we have time to get after it another time. We're here later tonight. We will be burning the midnight oil tonight for sure.
That's it. You do that a lot when you're a racer. So
it helps when you're young too. How old are you, by the way?
I am 18 years old. Just turned 18 this past May. Then this is my fourth year racing sprint cars.
So
damn, so you're younger than I thought he was.
Yeah. So what school do you go to?
I just graduated this year. I went to Baxter High School. It's a K through 12 all in one building. It's a pretty small school, but I graduated from there, and I played football. I did wrestling, and those are the only sports that I did there.
Okay, my ears aren't very good. Say the school one more time.
I wrestled and played football at Baxter High School.
Baxter.
It's right outside of Newton, Iowa.
Right outside of Newton. Okay, what are you, Class 1A then?
Yeah, we're Class 1A, but actually in football we're 8-man.
8-man. What position did you play?
I played a little bit of everything. I played a little bit of safety, a little bit of corner, a lot of linebacker, and on defense, and then on offense I played a lot of running back.
Oh, that's awesome.
Bud's a coach, so I got him. I got him interested. He probably not going to ask you about your wrestling because he don't know nothing about wrestling.
I don't know anything about wrestling. Were you any good at wrestling? Did you make it to state?
Fun fact: I never made state, but I have the pin record. I have the most pins all time, I have the most wins all time. I have a bunch of the school records there, but I never made state,
Well,
sadly.
State's overrated. Shit.
Oh, that's awesome. There's a lot of race car drivers that, homeschool, stuff like that. So it's kind of cool that you kept kept going to school the whole time. So that's pretty cool.
Oh, I got to interrupt just a minute. I
what?
watch on the phone to see who's with the few people that are watching. Rick he's watching, but he's at port.
Oh,
So
yeah.
he's watching the race and he's watching us supposedly.
Yeah. So, Jack, in case you don't know, when we're Facebook Live, we have Port Royal behind us and our sponsors and stuff going. But I should say we have a race on behind us, but tonight we have Port Royal on. So, but yeah.
And Fritz has got to rub it in that he's there watching the race. So
Absolutely. It'll probably rain out.
yeah, in Pennsylvania, you don't want to say that, but you can get beat up if you're out there. They even get a lot of racing in out there.
So, Jack, let's go back to the beginning. How did you get involved in racing? Not that you've been racing that long. I mean, Christ,
Well,
you're
in
only
sprint cars
18.
for 4
but-
years. Maybe you did something prior to that.
Yeah.
So my grandpa Jack, I'm a third generation driver. My grandpa Jack raced late models here around Iowa, and then whenever my dad was born, he's been around racing his whole life. And whenever he turned 18, he got my grandpa Jack bought him a sprint car, and he raced at Knoxville from 1999 to 2010. He won 9 features at Knoxville, with one being a 360 preliminary night feature.
Cool.
That's awesome.
And then in 2012, when I was 5, excuse me. Whenever I was 5, I started racing go-karts. And I raced go-karts all the way or flat carts, I should say. Flat carts all the way until, I believe 2020. And then I got into outlaw carts, ran outlaw carts for 2 years with a cage and wing on it. And then I got into a 360 sprint car whenever I was 14 years old.
So you bypassed the 305s then.
We skipped the 305 deal. We went and ran. I want to say I got my first ever laps at Oski, in Oskaloosa, Iowa.
Yep.
Turned 6 laps that night, just because it was in between their normal weekly show stuff. And then I went to Burlington. Went off twice in the heat race, but ended up coming from 16th to 5th in the B, getting ready to make a pass for the final transfer spot, and then I lost my brakes. Then we went to Vinton, had another brake failure. And then we went to Bloomfield, Iowa. This is all Sprint Invaders. They run all around here and all that good stuff.
Yep.
And I was trying to run down Chase Randall and Paul Nienheiser, and ended up putting her in the fence and wadding her up pretty darn good. My first ever crash was a pretty hard lick, wide open, right around the top of a big old half mile. But it didn't faze me much. We came back next year at Knoxville, and I was obviously a rookie at Knoxville that year, and I learned a lot, and I've just been growing my team and my program with all my great sponsors since then.
Well, good thing you're athletic then. Then them big crashes maybe don't hurt as bad. You can tense up and keep things in place maybe or something. I don't know. But me and Bud, we just watch. We ain't racing.
I'm still always a little bit sore the next day, but not horrible. It could be a lot worse, I'm sure, whenever I'm old and fat. And if I'm still doing this whole deal, it'll hurt a lot more.
Old and fat.
So
what are you saying about Bud? Anyhow?
Yeah, no kidding. You forgot the bald part. So when did you go to 410 then?
This season is my rookie year in the 410 deal. Clearview Roofing and Coatings, my main sponsor, which is also my boss who I work for. He used to race 360s, so. And, he was selling out most of his stuff, and he called me middle of winter, and he's like, hey, do you want to drive my 410 car at Knoxville? I'm like, Nate, you don't own a 410. He's like, well, duh, yeah, we're going to go buy one. And so, we bought a really, really nice piece off Scott Vagusky. It was originally a KRE from Australia. It's a rebuilt as an ostrich, and this thing's an absolute hammer. And, I kept one of his cars. I kept all the parts of his that I wanted to keep. He told me just keep whatever, and he's like, I want to learn, so whenever I get back into it with his kid, he has some knowledge going into it. And I kept most of his stuff. He bought a 410. We kept one of his three 360s, and we got a pretty decent little program going here.
That's great.
That sounds like it.
So since you named one sponsor, why don't you name all your sponsors? Just so we don't forget.
Oh boy. Oh, I got a list and a half here, boys. It's gonna take me a minute.
I'll lean back,
Yeah,
relax.
we're gonna take a nap
I'll
for a
turn and
while.
watch the race. You start reading.
I got Cleaver Roofing and Coatings, Higher Value Installation, Bendy Salvage Realty, Eagle Homes, Nelda Construction, J&G Transportation, Mobile Dent Service, Glasscock Floors, Cheeks Classic Collision Center, Route 65 Harley Davidson, Iowa ATV Scrambler Series, Tony Morrow Powder Coating, Norris Automotive, Downey Tire Pros, Tylube Motorsports, Ostrich Racing Engines, World Products, Jocko Sprint Parts, Jack Anderson Auto Body, Beck Photography, Ben Humphrey Photography, Sonic Creations, Levitt Graphics, and Track Threads.
Now, please tell me you had that written down and you didn't cite that off of memory.
Oh yeah, there's no way I'll remember that. I got it on my phone right now. I got it pulled up on my phone.
That's good because I got my list right here written out in front of me.
You said Ostrich Motors. Is that from Iowa? Is that from Des Moines or not?
Yes, it's like right outside Altoona, kind of by Pleasant Hill area. They Ostrich. He built for my dad, and he's always taken care of us, taking care of my dad. So we figured, why not just go back to Lee? Some people have their mixed opinions on him, and I might not have the best opinions on him, but I do. He's always taken care of me and made sure I've had really, really good stuff. And but I mean, some people say that they pop all the time, which it happens to everybody. Everyone's engines pop. It's just part of the sport. And whenever we're cranking them as hard as we are and going as fast as we are, it's a lot of stress on these things. And Lee's a hell of an engine builder. This thing runs super duper good. I feel like it might be one of the best engines at Knoxville Weekly. It's just we're still trying to figure out stuff on the setup early in the night, and that's kind of where we've struggled all year.
Yeah. So who is setting up the car? Is this just a family operation?
Yeah, so my dad's been the main guy on the wrenches here. We've had help from some friends here and there, which I don't know if he really wants to be mentioned yet, so I'll keep that on the down low just for the moment. But me and Dad have been really learning together, which I'm going to be honest with you, whenever I was racing go-karts, I never worked on my equipment. It was always Dad doing all the work. I just sat inside, and whenever we had to scale, we scaled. But with this whole sprint car deal, especially whenever I went to work for Nate before he quit, I really was able to learn how to build cars, which I can basically build. He's put that trust in me to where he lets me build stuff on my own, and just if he most of the time he'll double check stuff, but just to be safe about it. But yeah, it's just mostly me and Dad, and then I got a badge-of-bone crew guy named Aiden White. He comes down here most nights, so he's actually here tonight. He's over there thrashing away at the moment, and yeah.
Well, you're bullshitting with a couple of yahoos, so. But.
Which I already told him about that before this. I'm like, hey, I'm going to be on a podcast tonight, and he's like, okay, hey, don't worry about me. I'll just do my thing. Like he always does, It doesn't matter how late we stay up. He's always on it. He's always wanting to get stuff done and make sure it's done the right way.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you got to have guys like that. I mean, that's what makes your team go. And you working on it now, that's going to make you a better driver in the long run and more, how would I want to say, easier to find a ride if the time comes when you're looking or something like that, because they always like it if the guy understands the car.
Yeah, that's why I feel like I kind of have an edge over some of these younger kids along with myself, because I feel like I can give pretty decent input back of like what I feel in the car, which is like most people I talk to that I explain feel, they just wonder like how I learned how to explain feel so much, which I don't really know. It just kind of all comes from my butt to my brain, and then I just tell them what I feel after I get out of the car, and yeah, I just feel like being able to work on your stuff and being able to explain feel to a crew chief if you do get a ride, I feel like that's a huge thing that I'm happy that I've learned, and I'm happy that I have a pretty decent consensus about.
So, are you only doing Knoxville?
Yes, just because of the budget we got. We ain't got the biggest budget in the world. I mean, we have a lot of great partners, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying, but like without them, this would not be possible. I don't think I'd even still be in racing without any of my partners. It's just, we try to, it's hard to keep operating money coming around, especially we've kind of struggled this year. I mean, we've had a lot of speed. It's just that we've had a couple of mechanical failures, or I've made a big mistake that cost us a lot of money because I've lost some spots here at the end of some features, which happened once or twice this year so far. Which after last week, we showed a lot of serious speed in the A main, so I don't, hopefully, knock on wood, but I don't think any of that going backwards stuff should be happening here soon. But everyone has off nights, and I know that.
Oh,
Yeah.
But I hold myself to a pretty high standard, you know. I mean, I hate losing. I'm probably one of the most competitive people you guys will ever talk to. I hate losing, and all the hours in the shop, it just gives me more drive to be out in the shop and work hard on these things and watch a lot of film and just try and learn as fast as possible, you know.
Yep.
So this last weekend, you started, I don't remember where, but you were flying through the field.
Yeah.
Give us a little insight on, where you started, how you were moving through the field, and then we never got to see a replay, so we don't actually know what happened. So, kind of fill us in a little bit on what did happen last week.
Yeah, so we qualified. I want to say 13th, 12th or 13th, around there. Which is that's the best we've qualified all year. That's one thing that has really been our struggle here is qualifying. I feel like if we ever get that figured out and we start catching inverts and starting in the top 8 every night, I feel like we have a serious chance to go get some wins this year. But yeah, in the heat race, we started 3rd, ended up running 4th, didn't get that good of a start. Put us 14th on the grid in the A. Yeah, right off. Normally it takes me like 3-4 laps to get warmed up and really get my pace going, but man, we just came out like a ball of fire, and yeah, we were passing cars left and right. We had a ton of speed. Yeah, the car was the best it's ever been all year. Yeah, and we drove our way from 14th all the way up to 5th. We just got by PPM, and I was starting to try and chase down Kerry, which I feel like I was gaining on him. I didn't know how many laps were left because I don't count. I just go out there and I pass race cars. That's what I'm going to just train myself to do with the bad qualifying deal. You know, when you start 18th to 14th to 20th almost every single week, you just kind of train yourself just to pass cars and don't worry about counting laps or counting how many cars you guys just passes. Once you get by one, just focus on the next one. But yeah, I believe it was coming to the 2 to go signal. I came off of 4 and I got super loose because I got into the berm a little bit, hit the berm, kind of washed out, got a little loose. And I was so lasered in on trying to catch Kerry Matson that I got halfway down the straightaway, and I'm like, "Drum does not feel right," you know. And I looked down away from the top because that's where I was getting ready to go. I was getting ready to get right back up to the lip. I look down and I see my left front tire is basically almost over my front nose wing. And by the time I look back up, I'm at the flag stand. And so I get on the brakes, and the car went into a spin, and I tried to save it. And as soon as it came all the way around, did a 180, I stomped on the gas to slow my spin down so I didn't get into the fence as hard. But, yeah, I stomped on the gas. It really slowed my spin down, but I was still going a little too quick. And we rolled her over, I want to say, a good 3 times. And, yeah, landed up flat on the frame rails. I got up out of the car, and, yeah, I believe it was the left front shock or the left front arm that broke on the left front, because the left front was so buried down. It was either the shock or the right front arm, or left front arm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that sucks.
Yeah, but now we know. But yeah, that sucks when you're fast and something like that happens. But you hate to say it, but that's racing. I mean, you're on dirt and you're going 100-some mile an hour, and what can you say other than shit happens?
Yeah.
Yep, yeah. Parts break, you know, which kind of confused me because a lot of the things I'm missing are new or relatively new because I don't spend my money on trailers. I ain't never seen a trailer win no race. All my money goes into the car. You know, I mean, I'm just trying to put the best piece out there that I can to compete with all these high limit and outlaw caliber guys like Brian and Ryan Timms and Austin McCall, PPM, Kerry Matz, all those, trying to compete with all those guys week in and week out. So I have to try and put the best piece I can out there with all super nice parts. It's good. I'm not saying my trailer is a POS, but it's not the newest. It's like a 1993. Has old school big old lip at the back so you can get the car and the wing on it. It's like 28 foot, and I pull it with my personal truck. It gets me to A to B, which all that matters, and I roll out. I feel like one of the baddest race cars there.
Yeah, I always liked them old trailers though. When the back went up like that to get the wing in, I always thought them were cool looking.
Yeah, I think they look sweet. You know, like. Yeah, look at you guys, your big outlaw decks. Check me out. I got a big old spoiler on my trailer. Bud. Check it out.
But yeah, when you were talking parts, Lunstra up here with TK running at Huset's, I think they went through 3 steering gears now or something that's busted, and they've trashed cars out on account of that.
3, and they're worried the last time you crashed that it was that again.
Yeah.
So it could be 4.
So they got into a bad batch of something somewhere.
Yeah, I talked to TK a couple weeks ago. I think it was the weekend before the Outlaw show. He talked about how he's gone through a bunch of steer gears, a bunch of rear. He's just gone through a lot of stuff this year.
Yep.
He's like, I mean, but sometimes you just get these spells where stuff breaks on you. I mean, when you got a guy like TK that he's a crazy guy, he'll stomp on the gas. He ain't scared of nothing. So I know he, you know, yeah, that guy is he's a bad mofo. I've watched a lot of tape on. I remember when I was little, still racing go-karts, watching him race up at Cali and at those bull rings with the big old curves and just running the crap out of it. So, yeah, I know he's a bad mofo, and but sometimes when you're that much of a badass and you're on the gas that much and you're driving the crap out of it, stuff can break.
Yeah. We got a comment here from Johnny Anderson. He said Outlaw Style 1989. I'm guessing that's your trailer.
Oh, okay. Yep, that's what it is. It ain't quite as old as I thought it was.
What is it like being an 18-year-old that's just getting into 410? How are the guys down there at Knoxville? I mean, do they try and help you out? Do they keep to themselves? Do you keep to yourselves? How does that all work down there?
It kind of depends on the person, you know. Like, I worked for the McCarls during 410 Nationals for the past 2 years. Last year with Terry, and the year before that with Carson McCarl. So, like, I'm good buddies with Carson and most of the McCarls, so I usually don't feel weird going up and talking to them. But that place on the 410 is a completely different. The 410 deal, everyone's on the front chute for the 410 deal. That is a completely different atmosphere because a lot of guys, that's their job. Yeah. You know, like this isn't. Like some guys on the 360 side, they take it serious, obviously, but it's not their full-time job. At least not to a lot of them. Not a lot of them have a 360 ride that's their full-time job.
No.
So like those 410 guys are out there trying to feed their families, you know, and make good money. So yeah, so they're taking it dead serious. Most of them are, you know.
Yep.
And we were pitted next to Thomas Meserol last weekend, and I made a little feature on Team Mez TV, which was pretty cool, but. Yeah, Thomas, he's still learning too, so like we'll talk and yeah, he'll just kind of like ask questions like how not like anything about like car setup or anything, but he's just in awe of like how fast these things are and how they drive because he's a non-wing guy, he's a midget guy, and he's trying to learn the 410 side like a lot of the non-wingers have, like Chris Wyndham and Tyler Courtney. He's just trying to learn and figure it out, which Team is a bad mofo and a midget. I don't see why he won't be in a wing sprint car once he gets it figured out, but. Yeah, it kind of just depends on the people you're talking to, you know.
Yeah, some of them shows. Well, Team Mez TV, it's called, on his YouTube channel or whatever. they can be pretty fun to watch. I ain't gonna lie to you. I've watched quite a few of them over the year now. Yeah. So, have we had him on yet? No. Team Mez? Oh, we're gonna have to get him. Talk nice to Team Mez for us this weekend. Put a good word in for us.
Yeah, I will.
What's the ultimate goal, Jack?
I mean, it's every young kid that runs sprint cars' dream is to be on tour, you know, whether it be High Limit or Outlaws or just have a full-time ride that runs at your Outlaw schedule. I mean, that's the dream, is try and make this a living. I mean, I still have a backup plan even if it doesn't. I'm already working full-time for my boss now and my engine owner, Cleveland Roofing and Coatings. But, yeah, so I work a full-time job still. I mean, I'm still going to be an adult and live a normal life and just do this on the side, but put a lot of time into it until it becomes till my dream comes reality, you know, and that takes time. I know it's not going to happen overnight, and yeah, I'm just going to keep working at it, dude, until my dream comes true, or I just can't do it anymore, or it comes financially or physically not possible for me to do it anymore.
So will you be running the Nationals this year, or just helping McCarls again, or what's your plan there?
Yep, I'll be running both 360 and 410 Nationals.
Okay.
Yeah, and the 360 car will be my white one, my white and blue ride with the blue frame. That'll be my 360 car, and then I got my baby, my red and fluorescent yellow car, which is my Eagle for 410 Natties.
So, why do you have the number you have?
So originally, my dad and my grandpa Jack were both 7X, and then my dad went to 7A for 7, and my last name's Anderson, so 7A. And Nathan, he was always number 17, and he put in a lot of money with engines and cars, and just overall he put a lot of funding into this team, a lot of parts. He dumped so much stuff into this team because he really does believe in me, and he sees something that some of these other big teams don't, and he thinks I can really make it all the way, you know. So, and he puts his faith in me. And we were talking this off season before we even got in NG. He's like, so what are we gonna do about the number? And Nathan was always 17N for 17. So the N is for Nathan. And we're like, how about 17A? I'll roll with that. I don't really care what the number is, but we'll just make it an A because both our last names are Anderson. Funny enough, with no relation.
That's a fairly popular name.
What's that?
Anderson's a fairly popular name. It ain't like Smith or Jones, but there's a lot of Andersons.
Yeah,
Yes, there is.
I was going to ask you if you've ever just Googled Jack Anderson and saw how many Jack Andersons there were.
I have. I'm up there a little bit, but that was more when I was in like middle school and when I was still in go-karts. I'd look it up and be like, oh, see, look, guys, look, I'm on Google. My go-kart stuff's on Google. Check it out, you know. Like, I used to think that was the coolest thing, but.
Yeah, you can Google my name. Not a lot comes up.
No. Oh.
Nothing fun and exciting anyhow.
Yeah.
So, gotta ask, just in case, you got a girlfriend, or are you still looking, or are you trying to stay away from them so you can get focused on racing?
It's kind of complicated.
Oh, Tobe, you.
Yeah, we'll just leave it at that. It's
We'll leave it.
complicated. That's good
He's
enough.
got 3 of them, so we'll just
Yeah.
leave it there. We'll do
But
something
no,
much
it's
more
just-
fun, and we'll get into some questions here for you.
All right.
All right. What's your favorite kind of ice cream?
Vanilla. I'm pretty plain in the food department. I'm pretty picky. So straight up vanilla for me.
So what, burgers are your favorite food then?
I don't eat burgers.
Oh,
Hate burgers.
oh,
jeez.
Nope.
jeez.
I am super picky. Can't do it.
Okay. Well, then we won't ask no more about that either, because burgers are right up there for me and Bud.
Yep.
Cat or dog person?
Dog person. I actually just got a dog a little bit ago. Funny enough, the dog's name is Kaiser. Yep. That's all I run. I run all Kaiser wheels.
Yep.
There you go.
That's
Yep,
good wheels to run. Sponsor. Bud mentioned they got a
Huge
clearance
clearance
going
sale.
on now. You might
Yeah.
want to look.
They're about 50 minutes from us, so.
If I had the money, I would for sure go pick me up a set. But I'm trying to rebuild. I'm trying to rebuild a race car right now, boys. I gotta save her some cash.
There
Yeah,
you go.
no kidding.
So what kind of dog did you get?
It's like a Jack Russell with I think a little bit of pit bull in her. She's still just a little tiny little thing, but
Okay.
yeah, she's a decent shop dog. Besides that, we're still trying to figure out the whole potty training thing at the moment. But
Well, that's part
That
of it when you
always
get a
takes a
new.
while.
she's good in the house, but in the shop, she just kind of just lets it fly.
Yeah. Well, at least it's in the shop. You can wipe it up with a rag there.
Yep. Spray a little brake clean on, and you're good to
Yeah.
go. bud.
All good. Can't spray the brake clean in the house. That don't go well.
Do you have any hobbies other than racing?
It's kind of just my life, you know. Whenever we had an off weekend for High Bank Hustle, and it was either go to the lake or go racing with my cousin and go to Boone for his 305, and I went to Boone. It's not that I don't like going to the lake. It's just I love this sport, and I love being around it. I mean, hell, if I could be at a racetrack every single weekend, whether I'm racing or not, I want to be there. You know, if it's close to home and it's a reasonable drive.
Yep. We pretty much watch races.
Yeah.
That's what we do. So. if we
I
ain't
do
got-
dabble with a little bit of fishing. But that's about it.
Yep. If I ain't got somewhere to push either Rocky or Houston, then we're just going to watch races somewhere.
Yep,
Sit here in the
absolutely.
garage. So not a bad life. I don't mind it. My wife puts up with it. She comes with me. So.
That's a keeper then.
Yeah, I ain't going to throw her out, I don't think. How about a favorite movie?
Favorite movie? Ooh, that's trouble. That's a tough one. I'll say Talladega Nights. I'm a big Will Ferrell guy, so yeah, I'll
Okay.
say Talladega Nights.
Do you prefer snow or rain?
Snow.
Okay, now you're young, so I don't know what you'll say to this one, but if you were going to be stranded on an island, what type of music would you have to have along to listen to?
Rock music, older rock music.
Older rock, that a boy.
attaboy.
Yeah, I like it there again, but I like him even more.
Yep. So this is going to be really interesting because where's your favorite place to go out to eat?
Ooh, Texas Roadhouse for sure. Their steaks are the bomb. Love Texas Roadhouse.
Okay, so you won't eat burgers, but you'll eat steaks?
Oh yeah, I'll eat the crap out of steaks. Oh yeah, love steak.
Do you eat the dinner rolls?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
So I always thought
But-
like a burger was ground steak.
It can be.
All right, moving on. How about a favorite holiday?
Probably Christmas.
Okay. You're young, so this better be small. How many speeding tickets do you have?
I have one bad one, but I have one. It was whenever I first, I think I was 15.
Oh,
Ooh, yeah, probably not a good idea to get one when you're 15.
No, it was a bad one, but yeah, I'm good now. I got my speeding stuff out of the way. I got because whenever I had my Jeep, that thing was kind of a little too fast for me, and I enjoyed speeding. But now I got my truck, I kind of just cruise around in that thing and set the cruise at 60 and just roll on around.
okay. So in regards to that then, and it might just be from your speeding ticket, but what's the fastest you've ever driven down the highway or ridden with somebody else going down the highway?
My buddy, he has a Camaro. It was his dad's Camaro, and we were going down the interstate, and he's like, "Let's see how fast this thing go." I think he got it up to like 165.
Oh,
And I was sitting there, and the thing was shaking so bad, and I'm like, "Dude, this is stupid." I guess whenever we got to 120, I'm like, "Yeah, dude, that's enough. Let's back her down." And he wouldn't listen, so I was kind of just along for the ride at that point. I was in the back seat. I was terrified.
Cinching the seatbelt down a little tighter just in case.
Way better if you're driving, right?
Yeah, that was also whenever I was 15. Fun fact. So but the thing is, it's not that I was scared going fast. It's just I don't like when I'm not in control. You know, I don't like
Yep,
going.
you're not driving.
Yep.
I hate not driving whenever there's other people in the car. Like if someone else is driving, I just don't ever really feel comfortable unless I'm in control of the wheel.
There's a lot of people out there that way that don't like to ride.
What's your favorite drink?
Gatorade Zero, orange Gatorade Zero.
There you go.
Specific too, not just
Yep.
Gatorade. Orange Zero.
I don't like pop or any of that. I don't like pop. Pop's nasty.
Oh, that's terrible. We don't drink more than 3-4 cans a day ourselves, so we're trying to cut back.
I probably have a few more than
Ah, well, I've only had 2.5 yet today.
that. Oh boy.
I'm doing good. And one last question for you before we let you go get back to work on the car, so your buddy there ain't doing all the work for you. If you just won the lottery, had all the money in the world, and I think maybe I know the answer to this, but is there a car, a pickup, a boat, or is there anything you've always wanted that you can't afford?
I'd say 5 brand new Schnee Lawsons and 7 brand new Riders, and I think I'd be pretty well set. And then just buy parts with it. Those get going.
I was kind of guessing that, but
There you go.
that'll work.
Absolutely. Well, Jack, it's good to get to know you a little bit better. We appreciate that. Do you have any apparel anywhere?
Yeah, on Facebook, and then if you're down at Knoxville, let's see, just message my Facebook at Fast Jack Anderson Racing. Yeah, we can ship stuff down to you. And most of our shirts, hoodies, mini wing panels, and I think we're getting ready to do a couple pullback cars. So we'll see how those sell. But yeah, if you guys want to buy anything, just go ahead and go to Fast Jack Anderson Racing on Facebook and shoot me a message, and yeah, we'll get you hooked up.
That
The
sounds
kids,
awesome.
the kids will like them pullback cars.
Oh yeah, my little brother's pretty excited for one. He loves his toy sprint cars.
So you're probably ain't gonna make any money off the little brother though. So well, anyways, when the Nationals roll around and a couple 3 or 4 guys walk up to you in Hoagie's Garage t-shirts, that might be us stopping by to say hi.
All right, sounds good. I'll see you guys down there.
All right.
All right.
Have a good one. Good luck.
Yeah, you too. Yeah,
Thanks,
thank you guys.
Jack.
Bye.
Bye.